Quyen Mini and Quyen SE, which are like 1 billion parameter and 500 million parameter models. And then so if you're familiar with like Tiny Llama and Light Llama, these are like the same equivalent, right? Like the same exact kind of like literally the same exact parameter size, and then it's like the exact same kind of philosophy going into these. But so if you're familiar with the Quyen model, which is like the Chinese model that's like the equivalent of like ChatGPT 4, they did this like so they did the same thing with that model as with like the Llama models, where a developer got access and was given access to it, early access to the model, and then he essentially like trained it on a different data set than like the Quyen large model. Like it was like a whole bunch of open source data sets, and then so all of these models are released like 100% open source, and then it's they like are varying sizes. So like, and then it's like I think it's 33B, 13, 7, and then the ones that we're going to be looking at today are the ones kind of my favorite ones to look at overall are like 1 billion and 500 million. And then before we dive into these very specifically, I do want to highlight, so if you want to check out both of the models that we're going to be looking at today, both Quyen Mini and Quyen SE, then I'll leave the link in the description to these Google Colabs in my notebook, and to these Google Colab notebooks in the description of this video. But if you want to check out all of my Colab notebooks, and I have a ton at this point of like a whole bunch of models, different ranges from 500 million, 300 million, a billion, 7 billion, 13, all the way up to like even 70 billion that you can run in Google Colabs and free Google Colabs, then all you have to do is just go to, and I'll leave the link for this in the video as well, just marketing.touring.solutions.com, and then there's a link here to sign up, just an email address, that's all that we require, and then with the email address, you get access to every single collab that I've made, and then we'll go over, period. And then so gives you access to like a ton of models if you want to go through and do all of these yourself, or you can also feel free to check out all of my videos as well, right? And I do give access and for free, but it's if you just want that consolidated resource, just the price of an email. But so diving in directly to these Quyen models, there's a few things that I want to check out overall, right? First of all, I want to go over just the like model performance, but then very specifically, I do want to, in the second part of this video, and I'll kind of highlight it and tease it out up front right now, is that these models do fall in that parameter range, this parameter range that I like to examine a lot, which is 1 billion versus 500 million, right? And I think like it's an interesting parameter range, and we'll go into the differences of these models. But so first we'll go into the Quyen Mini model, and then so essentially the notebook here I've got is pretty straightforward. So currently right now, like I'd say like probably in like a day or two you won't even need this. But so this is getting me the very latest version of Hugging Face Transformers, and then pulling it directly from GitHub, just because it's like these models just came out yesterday, so I don't know if the full stable release has these models loaded into it yet. So I'm just pulling straight from the very latest version of Hugging Transformers that I can, and then loading that in, and then so again, like in a day or two, you should be able to just remove that entirely. And then from there, it's just importing Torch, and then from Transformers, we want Auto Tokenizer and Auto Model for Causal LM, which are very straightforward for loading any sort of model that you'd want directly from Hugging Face Transformers specifically. And then in this instance, I am adding a little bit of code here because I did run it. You can run this model 100% under CPU, and then so I loaded it straight in CPU. It takes a while for the outputs to generate, whereas just loading it to CUDA, I mean it's fast. So this model's fast, of course, because it's small, right? And then so it's good. So we're loading it to CUDA there because we can. So model to device, either GPU or CPU. And then in this instance, a default poem, and then I set the defaults up front to really low, so 100 on the max length, and then you can adjust the temperature if you'd like, and then it's just I defaulted to 0.9 like almost every single time, and then just decoding from there, and then you can adjust to any sort of decoder process that you want, and then add anything else that you would want to add or need to add as well. But then so we get our output of the poem, and then so write a poem about the beauty of nature. Nature is a canvas of art with colors so vivid, flowers that blush in the morning light, birds that sing their sweetest song. Nature's beauty, it's always there, majestic mountains that reach for the sky, raging rivers that flow endlessly, lush forests that whisper in the breeze, nature's beauty, it's always here, the gentle sway of the trees in the wind. That's kind of where it cuts off the output there, right? So it's very interesting there, and a good poem, right? Good overall poem. And then so that's kind of what I noticed overall. So I asked this model up front a few general outputs, and I was kind of really surprised for a 1 billion parameter model, right? And then so this is going to be my upfront opinion and my just what I noticed upfront about the model, subjectively, was that this model, like it's definitely Tiny Llama, which is also the same parameter size. This model is subjectively, to me, up front within like the first two outputs that I noticed, producing better results, right? So I wanted to dive deeper into that, and I was like, okay, let me give it like a harder question, and then let's see how it does with this one. And then so this is a question that like I've never gotten a 1 billion parameter model to get right. And then it's usually like not even 7 billion parameter models will get this particular question right, and we'll dive into it. So that to me, this was really interesting, these results here, and that's why I left it up. But so assume the statement is true: all dogs go to heaven, cats do not. There exists a cat whose full name is Bruce the dog. Does the cat whose full name is Bruce the dog go to heaven? And then the answer is no, because Bruce the dog is a cat, right? And then so just going through the logic. So a few things here to point out is like number one is that it's got chain of thought reasoning built in. So we can see like this, the way that it's answering this question gives me up front kind of like almost everything, that a ton of insight overall as to how this model was trained, and a lot of the training processes, right? So we can tell it's got and a lot of the how the model is built. It's got chain of thought reasoning built into it. It utilizes that, and then it's got it's like like an assistant and system model, right? It's got the ability to self-prompt itself because you can see it self-corrects within that, and then so it's that like self-correcting mechanism within that, kind of the conscious and subconscious. It's like, I mean, it's like assistant and system, right? But it's giving it the ability to prompt itself is what it does. But so those two things combined like get beautiful results in my opinion. And then so here we are looking at it, right? And then so this is a 1 billion parameter model again. And then so we can see it goes through the steps, and then it goes through the steps wrong, but it gets the answer right. And then it's interesting here what happens, right? So step one, we know that all dogs go to heaven, and we also know that cats do not go to heaven. Cool. Step two, since we know that cats do not go to heaven, we can assume that there's a cat whose full name is not Bruce the dog. Okay. Step three, the statement given is there exists a cat whose full name is Bruce the dog. Since we know cats do not go to heaven, this means that there is no cat whose full name is Bruce the dog. So its logic starts to get off a little bit here, right? So it's evaluating the truthfulness of the statement, which is good. Like, but we'll go through. So step four, since there is no cat whose full name is Bruce the dog, it means that Bruce the dog cannot have been born with that name. Sure. Step five, given that Bruce the dog cannot have been born with the name Bruce, it means that it must have been born with a different name. I mean, that's your logic, right? So step six, the statement given is there exists a cat whose full name is Bruce the dog. Since we know that Bruce the dog cannot have been born with the name Bruce, and we know that cats do not go to heaven, we can conclude that Bruce the dog does not go to heaven. So and then in the end it gets it right? Because it realizes that Bruce the dog is not a dog. But so it gets that end result right. Like the end result is Bruce the dog is not a dog, and then so it can reason that, but how it gets to Bruce the dog is not a dog is incorrect, right? And then so final answer, no, the cat whose full name is Bruce the dog does not go to heaven. You have just, and then it says to itself, you just proved that cats do not go to heaven. And then it says, apologies for that. My previous assumption was incorrect. Let me correct that. So you can tell like this is also like a lot of the alignment has gone through a lot within this. There's an alignment filter built into this, right? Like within the I'm assuming the assistant model, and it's like, hey, like you just said that like you just proved that cats don't go to heaven, which is probably like that's going against your alignment filter, bro. And then so it starts to go through the logic here again, and then it sucks, right? Because it cuts off right after line 5, so it was going to go through line 6 and then spit out a final answer. But I cut off the tokens in this instance, in the second instance at 500, so I didn't get the chance to quite go through. If I'd have cut it off at like 600, we'd see the result there. But so we can ask it more questions, right? Like, so there's another one, and I'll ask it again. It's pretty fast with these outputs, and then we've already got it loaded here, so we might as well ask it some questions here. And then so I'm going to ask it this question. This is one of my favorite ones to ask these models, because it gives you a good idea of their thinking on their feet and how they respond to like a very broad prompt. Cool. There's a customer complaining about the price of our widgets. Please write an email to the customer explaining why they should purchase our widgets. And then we get it go here, and then so you can see it executing here. Again, I've got it for 500 tokens, and then we'll see how long it takes to execute on this particular prompt, loading it to the GPU, right? So that's a good thing. Like with if it was just CPU, I'd expect this to take like with 500 tokens, like it might take like 3-4 minutes, honestly. Like, and then so we get a response back in about 25 seconds, which is cool. There's a customer complaining about the price of our widgets. Please write an email. Subject, why you should consider purchasing our widgets. Dear customer, I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing you on behalf of our company name. I understand that you have recently expressed concerns about the price of our widgets, and we hope to provide you with some valuable information that will help you make an informed decision. We believe that our widgets are of high quality and have been designed to provide our customers with a superior experience. Our team of experts have worked tirelessly to ensure that each widget is manufactured to the highest standards, and we're confident that our pricing is competitive in the market. Furthermore, we offer a variety of payment options to suit your needs. We understand that convenience is a critical factor for our customers, and we are committed to providing you with a seamless shopping experience. In summary, we believe that our widgets are the perfect solution for your needs. We are confident that you will find our products to be of high quality, and we hope that you will consider purchasing them. If you have any further questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact us. We are always happy to provide you with additional information and assistance. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, your name and then the company name. And then it looks like, okay, cool. So this is interesting, right? So it's outputting right now like these, I call them like shard results, but in this instance, it's doing like a little bit different than the Phi 2 model, and then this overall is giving me some sort of insights here, right? So I see this in the main model that I've seen this exact same type of outputs like this, where it does this like kind of like triplicate, like and it like asks it'll like shards, right? Like where it's like doing it like more than one prompt, and every single time it's a pattern where it's doing this. I've only seen this a lot in the Phi 2 model, and then the Phi 2 model is like in this same parameter range, and then so I think like what I'm noticing in this particular my just assumption with this is my hypothesis, right? So my hypothesis with around this is that this is due to a mixture of the way that they're training these particular models, and then the low parameter size. And then so what I think is going on is that they're doing like a 3-step training process, is my guess, right? And then so it's like kind of like a train, tune, and then that's why you see the 3 outputs, because it's like train, tune, right? And then like the which is awesome and amazing. It's how you get these like perfect end results. Because a lot of like every research like that paper that I've been seeing, like a lot of them, they did, and for no matter what it is, right? They're doing this 3-step tuning process lately, and like boom, 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 like it's train, tune, tune, and it's just like it's I mean it like. Train on a broad and then tune on a little bit more narrow and then tune on a little bit more narrow, right? And then it gets it really good that way results. And I think like that's to me the same thing that we're seeing and I'm noticing over here with Quyen Mini, so Quyen Mini. So just highlighting that and pointing that out. That's kind of just my personal observation off of this, and feel free to make your own observations off of it. But so I think this is a good demonstration overall of this Quyen Mini model. And then so we've asked it 3 questions. And then so now let's go over to essentially this guy, which is Quyen SE, which would be the equivalent of, again, like a light llama. And then so this I don't even need to load into GPU at all. I just can load it straight in, right? And then first of all, I'm gonna change this runtime real quick, just because I utilize free Google Colab, and then so if I'm not utilizing the GPU, I'd rather like save it for maybe I need it at some other point. And then so same thing, right? Because these 2 models are just so new, I'm just doing this, but I probably don't need this. And then with this, I'm just loading it straight in, right? So you can see no load to GPU, no extra stuff, because I don't need all that extra stuff. Just load in the model, and then from there, allow me to prompt the model. And then here's the prompting of the model, and then like literally it's the whole prompt here and everything that it's about 30 seconds on CPU, and this is on CPU, right? So on GPU would be like 5 seconds maybe, and then but so big difference, and we'll ask this more questions, right? Because it's already loaded in. But so write a poem about the beauty of nature, which is the first poem the first prompt that we loaded in the other model in the 1 billion parameter. And the beauty of nature is and. Okay, let's try something else. Let's do it, and let's ask the same questions, right? So we asked the beauty of nature, a short fictional story. A short fictional story. And I mean, we can ask the email one outright. I don't know if it's gonna be worth it, but we'll see. We'll take a look here. But so I think again, the thing I want to highlight there. So the only difference here, right? The big difference, and the only difference is between these 2 is the parameter count. One is 1 billion, one is 500 million. And then there is like expected decrease in performance, right? Because going between like 1 billion and like there should be a difference in performance overall. But so okay, tell a story. Once upon a time, there was a small village where people lived in harmony with nature. The village had a beautiful forest where people could freely walk and play. The river flowed through the village, providing fresh water for the villagers. There was great abundance of fruits and vegetables in the village. One day, a group of people came to the village and started causing damage. Cool. So we get kind of a more like unique output. So I'm assuming it probably has something about that in its data, in its training, in the training data. So let's see. Like let's ask it the email question. Adjust the length here. I'll give it like 300, and then it's gonna take like maybe it's since I'm going from 100 to 300, it's gonna take maybe 3 seconds as long, and then so I think it was taking like 10 seconds before, so it might take about 30 seconds. Yeah, about 30 seconds or so for it to go through. And so I'll say the story output is so that story output, the last output that we looked at, that's the best output that I have seen yet, period, and hands down, from a model of this size. And then so that's what makes me curious and interested to ask and prompt with this, like I wasn't going to prompt with this question, but then I was like, wow, okay, it gave a much better response than I was expecting. So let's give it like a very hard question now, and then see if it can actually answer it like on any level. I was expecting just kind of like gibberish, almost kind of like what you get out from like tiny stories and instances like that. But that was a lot better than gibberish overall. So giving it a real question, and it's struggling now, right? Like it's now it doesn't know what to do. I think it's because it's just generating like trying to generate tokens, and then it's generating tokens very slowly at this point is what is going on. A minute and a half for 300 tokens. So we're at like we're going under 3 tokens a second. There we go. Subject: why would you buy our widgets? Dear customer's name, I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to bring to your attention a recent price increase for our widgets that has recently occurred. While we strive to offer our customers the best possible value for their hard-earned money, we have had to increase the price due to unforeseen circumstances that have arisen during the production process. Wow. We understand that this may seem like a small price increase, but it is in the best interest of our company. By purchasing our widgets now, you are giving us the opportunity to offer you a better value for your money. As a result, we hope to provide you with a more enjoyable and hassle-free experience with our widgets. We believe that this price increase is necessary to keep up with the growing demand for quality products from our customers. By investing in our widgets, you will be helping us to remain competitive and provide you with the best possible value. Thank you for considering our offer. We appreciate your business and look forward to providing you with the best possible service. Best regards. Your name, your title, your company, your email address, your phone number, your company, and then again the shards, your company, your email address, your phone number, your company name, like that. That's those shards. Those I'm positive at this point that those shards are coming in from a second fine tuning. Like I really think that I don't know, right? Because both of these models, so I see that a lot in the Phi 2 model, and then so my first assumption, and I was always just like, oh, it's low parameters, but now thinking about it, I haven't seen it in like for example like Light Llama and Tiny Llama. They don't shard the same way as this model as these two models do. But so I think it's because this has the same sort of training data and the same process as the Phi models, which would make a lot more sense. And then I think it's a mixture of those two. And then, so this is just my hypothesis. And so now we're going to give it this question, right? Like, and I don't expect it to get this. Like, if it gets even the end result of this right, I'm going to be floored at this model. But so far, hands down, this model, and the reason why I'm even like trying to do this at all is like this model has outperformed any 500 million parameter models that I've ever tested. And then so as far as like performance and benchmarks, this model to me, honestly, going through this exercise disproves some arguments that I make. And then so if I'm making an argument and it gets disproven, I'm 100% open and willing to admit that. And then so one of the arguments that I've been making is I've been curious as to like can we actually go this low? Like, is there a value in going 500 million parameters? Like, can you get an actual useful model out of this? And then so far it's yes. And then so this is like the final test, right? Like the final boss. So I ask it the question. I asked it the same question again about the customer complaining about our widgets. And then, okay, so then let's just ask it, we'll get the response from it. Why choose our widgets over other brands? I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to personally reach out to you regarding the price of our widgets. As you're aware, there are numerous widgets available on the market, and it can be challenging to determine which one is the best option for your needs. Our widgets are made with premium quality materials and offer exceptional performance. They're designed to last for a long time, making a great investment for any customer. I've seen enough. This is amazing from 500 million parameters. Like, I am honestly at this particular moment, I am very floored at this output from 500 million parameters right now. Like, this is kind of crazy. So let's the final boss. There exists. Oh, first of all, assume the statement to be true. All dogs go to heaven. Cats do not. There exists a cat whose full name is Bruce the dog. Does the cat whose full name is Bruce the dog go to heaven? All right, now let's see. Like, this is, I mean, again, like I was floored that the Quyen Mini, so the 1 billion, was able to get this right. But I will be like, I'll fall out of my chair if Quyen SE is able to get this right. Like, there's no way. But we're gonna see what happens here. But so again, like, I am floored and shocked by Quyen SE right now. Like, this is truly extraordinary. It opens up the floor. So Quyen SE, like, you can run this on a brick of a cell phone, any machine, any computer. Like, we're running it just purely on CPU, right? This is pure CPU, and I'm setting it for like 300 length values. And then asking it hard questions, so it like has to like generate off of the hard questions, right? And then it's still like a minute or so for the outputs, so it's pretty good, right? Like, this is, I'm happy overall with the performance of this model and amazed by the outputs of this model. Like, okay, here we go. This is an easy question to solve. Okay. The only thing we need to check is the name of the cat. We can quickly confirm this by looking at the dog's full name. See, Bruce the dog is a cat's full name, which means that he is a cat. Oh. Since cats do not go to heaven, we can conclude that Bruce the dog does not go to heaven. Answer: no. Wow. The statement "all dogs go to heaven" is false. There exists a cat whose full name is Bruce the dog, who does not go to heaven. The statement "cats do not go to heaven" is also false. There exists a cat whose full name is Bruce the dog who goes to heaven. The statement "dogs go to heaven" is true. There exists a dog whose full name is Bruce the dog who goes to heaven. Cats do not go to heaven is true. There exists, so it's, oh my gosh, it did it though. Like, it reasoned through that the cat named Bruce the dog does not go to heaven. I mean, straight up, like, you can look through a lot of my other videos. I asked this question a lot, right? Like, 7 billion parameter models, like the lambda of ChatGPT of Bard gets this wrong. Like, ChatGPT 3.5 can get this wrong. Like, this is incredible right now. Like, so I'll end it here because I think this video has been going along. But so Quyen SE, Quyen Mini, I'll link them in the description. Check out these models. I am absolutely floored right now. And then again, if you want to get access to all of my collabs, any Colab notebook, then just simple email address, and then I'll give you access to the full spreadsheet that has access to all of them, any model and any point. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.